Alright, so for this I went back to working on the vehicle game that I've been working on for a while. I say game in loose terms because there's not a whole lot of actual gameplay right now. But so I have the same controls before, WSAD for steering and accelerating. I also added back in firing a bullet, and now the new feature is R will rewind you. So you have up to 3 seconds of rewind at 3 times speed. And you can never rewind more than like 9 seconds, so the cooldown time is always between 1 second at minimum or your rewind time. So like this, and I could rewind like 6 seconds all the way back to the start, or I can rewind, well, rewind like 1 second, 3 seconds in game, and it'll put me back to the same position. I'm using the fire to hit myself in the face so that I can show off the rewind, but so it will rewind both the movement and the health state, so I took 1 damage back off, and if I keep rewinding, I can rewind until the first time I hit myself and fully revert the states. And so basically that's the functionality of this that I've added. And so I did this basically by reworking my state machine and state objects so that they can rewind themselves. So I've basically moved a lot of stuff out of the state object into, or out of the state machine into a state object. So now each state object basically acts as its own state machine in a hierarchical state machine. And like I've added a lot of stuff here for handling substate changes and all the other stuff that I need for like rewinding and recording states and stuff like that. So a lot of the functionality, so rewinding and recording happens through individual state objects, and then each state object is basically transitioning between different subtypes or substates that it goes through. So for example, like here, the health substate is basically gonna grab some damage that's been happened since the last time it updated. If there's been some damage, it will change the HP, record the current state, and then switch the state to what it needs to be now. So each substate will, if I go down here, you could see basically transitions in and out based on like the health you have. And so each substate object has its own little custom logic if it needs it. All the HP substates have a min and max transition HP. And then everything else is basically pretty plug and play as long as I do the recording correctly up here. Where was it? Here. Recording the actual data and then rewinding them based on the amount of time that's passed, which is tracked by the actual state machine itself that all of these are inside. And then the data, I'm just passing basically a null pointer of data. And like for health, that's basically just a float. But for some of them, like movement, that's a bigger struct. Anyway, that's my rewind function. Thank you very much.